In the theater of Harold Pinter, what remains unsaid often speaks louder than words. The deliberate silences, the pregnant pauses, the menacing undertones beneath ordinary conversation. These are the hallmarks of one of the 20th century's most influential dramatists. Harold Pinter, born in East London in 1930, revolutionized modern drama not through elaborate staging or complex plots, but through the power of suggestion and the tension of the unspoken. His distinctive style was so influential that the term Pinteresque entered the theatrical lexicon, describing works characterized by minimal dialogue, ambiguous situations, and simmering tension. At the heart of Pinter's dramatic technique lies the famous Pinter pause. These deliberate silences are not merely breaks in conversation, but loaded moments where power shifts, threats emerge, and characters reveal their true selves without uttering a word. In these pauses, audiences are forced to confront the uncomfortable spaces between social niceties and raw human emotion. Equally important in Pinter's work is his masterful use of subtext. Characters rarely say what they mean or mean what they say. Beneath seemingly banal conversations about tea or the weather lurks a world of dominance, submission, fear, and desire. This disconnect between spoken words and underlying intentions creates a constant sense of unease and anticipation. Consider The Homecoming, one of Pinter's most celebrated plays. When Ruth returns with her husband to his family home, the polite veneer of family reunion quickly gives way to a disturbing power struggle. The characters circle each other with words that seem innocuous on the surface, but carry threatening undertones. A simple offer of a glass of water becomes laden with sexual implications and power dynamics. In The Caretaker, three characters engage in seemingly mundane conversations that mask deeper conflicts about territory, belonging, and identity. The homeless Davies, offered shelter by the enigmatic brothers Aston and Mick, finds himself caught in a psychological game where words serve as weapons and silences as battlegrounds. Pinter's approach to dialogue reflects his belief that language itself is unreliable and often used to conceal rather than reveal truth. His characters employ language as a shield, a weapon, or a mask, rarely as a means of genuine communication. This skepticism about language's ability to convey truth places Pinter firmly within the theater of the absurd tradition, alongside playwrights like Samuel Beckett and Eugene Ionesco. The political dimensions of Pinter's work cannot be overlooked. His later plays became increasingly explicit in their critique of power structures and political oppression. Yet even in these more overtly political works, his technique remained consistent. The most devastating truths emerge not from grand speeches, but from the spaces between words, from what remains unspoken. When Pinter received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2005, the committee recognized him as a writer who in his plays uncovers the precipice under everyday prattle and forces entry into oppression's closed rooms. This perfectly captures the essence of his contribution to modern drama, revealing the abyss beneath ordinary conversation. Pinter's influence extends far beyond the stage. His techniques have shaped film, television, and literature. Any work that relies on subtext, that finds meaning in silence, or that reveals character through oblique dialogue owes something to Pinter's revolutionary approach to dramatic writing. Harold Pinter died in 2008, but his artistic legacy continues to grow. In an age of information overload and constant noise, his work reminds us of the power of restraint, of the eloquence of silence, and of the truths that hide beneath the surface of our everyday interactions. In the theater of human communication, sometimes what matters most is not what is said, but what remains deliberately unsaid.